It is the effort of our leaders and freedom fighters that led to the introduction and the eventual passage of freedom. We, the Indians, couldn't have enjoyed the fruits of freedom without the leadership and sacrifices of many great people. On this auspicious day, we all have gathered to commemorate one such leader, that is Jawaharlal Nehru.
Jawaharlal Nehru was born on 14th November 1889 in Prayagraj, Allahabad, in British India to Motilal Nehru and Swaruparani Thusu. He was the eldest of 4 children and 2 of whom were girls. Nehru described his childhood as a sheltered and uneventful one. He grew up in an atmosphere of privilege at healthy homes, including a palatial estate called the Anand Bhavan.
Until the age of 16, his father had him educated at home by private governances and tutors. Influenced by the Irish theosophist Ferdinand T. Brooke's teaching, Nehru became interested in science and theosophy. Later, in 1905, he had begun his institutional schooling at Harrow, a leading school in England. Nehru went to Trinity College, Cambridge in October 1907 and graduated with an honours degree in natural science in 1910. Finally, he was qualified as barrister from London.
Returning to India in August 1912, Nehru enrolled as an advocate of the Allahabad High Court and tried to settle down as a barrister. But, unlike his father, he had very little interest in his profession and relished neither the practice of law nor the company of lawyers. In 1916, he joined Annie Besant Home Rule movement. In 1920, he joined non-cooperation movement at national level and met Mahatma Gandhi. In 1921, he was arrested and released within few months. In the year 1923, he became the General Secretary of Congress Party. In the year 1929, on December 29th, Nehru assumed the presidency of the Congress Party during the Lahore and introduced a successful resolution calling for complete independence.
Nehru was a prolific writer in English and produced several books such as The Discovery of India, Glimpses of World History, and his autobiography Towards Freedom. He had written 30 letters to his daughter Indira Gandhi when she was 10 years old and in a boarding school in Mussoorie, teaching her about natural history and the story of civilizations. The collection of these letters were later published as a book titled Letters from a Father to His Daughter.
India attained independence in the year 1947 but also suffered the pain of partition. British India was ended 300 years of colonial rule. In the year 1945 and 46, the Muslim League under the guidance of Muhammad Ali Jinnah was widely recognized as third political force in India alongside the Congress and the British. The partition was ended late by 1940s as the centralized India state but not an unified one.
You repeat after me. I, Jawaharlal Nehru, do solemnly affirm
I, Jawaharlal Nehru, do solemnly affirm
that in the office of Minister
that in the office of Minister
I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of India
to the Constitution of India
as by law established,
as by law established,
and that I will do right to all manner of people,
and that I will do right to all manner of people.
Nehru served as Prime Minister for 18 years, first as interim Prime Minister and from 1950 as a Prime Minister of the Republic of India. The long-term partition, ending rivalry between two nuclear-armed nations, and constituency to define the tone and character of India and Pakistan politics to this day. He implemented moderate, socialist economic reforms. He committed Indian policy of industrialization. As a matter of modern India, through his 5-year plan, he included free and compulsory primary education to all the children. He laid his stepping stones for the foundation of NDA, Atomic Energy Commission. He is the man behind many multi-purpose dams. Nehru described dams as modern temples.
In the year 1954, he signed with China the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence known as Panchashil for mutual response, for non-interference, mutual non-aggression, sovereignty, territorial integrity. In spite of these, India would never suspected that China would ever launch attack. But it did on 20th October 1962, which ended on 21st November 1962. He strongly believed that peace is the only way to engage with China. He wrote a letter note to the Prime Minister of the People's Republic of China on 26 December 1959 regarding the border dispute, which reveals Nehru's preference for peaceful coexistence. He also faced criticism for this situation in his later period as an incompetent leader that cannot be linked to military means. The slogan of Aram Haram Hai was given by the primary Prime Minister of impartial India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He believed that the fruit that comes from working and exhausting work is the very best and is good. He gave this slogan in the course of the freedom wrestle to all these whom he wished to present the message that for the liberty of the nation he wouldn't not get something without struggling, and at a time when the nation wants its heroes, it's proper to relaxation.
The entire nation was enveloped by the tragedy when Nehru's death was announced in Lok Sabha at 2 p.m. local time on 27 May 1964. The cause of death was believed to be a heart attack. The light is out, and there is darkness everywhere. Reminded everyone of these words used by Nehru at the time of assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. The similar words were declared by the nation when the death of the great leader is announced. Draped in the Indian national tricolour flag, the body of Jawaharlal Nehru was placed for public viewing. Raghupati Raghava Rajaram was chanted as the body was placed on the platform. On 28th May, Nehru was cremated in accordance with Hindu rites. At Shantivan on the banks of the Yamuna, witnessed by 1.5 million mourners who had flocked into the streets of Delhi and the cremation grounds.